What's up, everyone? Just wrapped up episode 8 with my buddy Watson. We dove into some really unique stuff. We did family outfitting business and family ranch, a little bit of ag business, kind of how that industry's changing, and why Watson wants to live in Honduras. Yeah, should be airing within the next couple weeks. So. Welcome back, everyone. It's Ben Nelson with the Tech Intern Show. This is episode 8. Super excited for the guest that I brought on today. Watson's a great buddy of mine. We met last semester in a public speaking course here at Montana State.
Yeah.
That was a really good time.
That was a fun time.
Today we are here in the Langford Residence Hall. Just right across the street is the dining hall, and up from that is Jake Jab's College of Business and Entrepreneurship. So we are in the heart of campus right now, in the lobby of the dorm. Something about that just kind of rings off for me. I think that's pretty funny.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, but just a little business. If you like what you're seeing here with the Tech Intern Show and want to get notified more, subscribe down below. Also, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I'm posting graphic content, written, audio, video, all that good stuff consistently. So thank you so much for following along thus far, and I feel like we're just getting started here. Episode 8, though, so still getting started, but I think I'm going to do quite a few more episodes. So with that, I'm going to drop it to you. Why don't you kind of introduce yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. All right. Well, Watson Snyder, like you said. I'm here at MSU for ag business. Came from a real strong agricultural background, family, community, fourth generation farmer rancher. That's pretty much who I am. Grew up in Choteau, Montana. My grandparents' family ranch is in Utica, Montana. I feel like I was raised more on the road than I was on any one place, actually.
Nice.
I grew up homeschooled and up until my junior year, so I had a lot of flexibility and just the way I could go from ranch to ranch and do my schoolwork on the road. So it made it very nice. And then junior year, I did go into public school so that I could be a part of FFA and a couple of the other school programs that I wasn't able to do from home. But then with our family outfitting business, it made it awesome because I could go, when I was homeschooled, I could go guide and help out for 5 weeks in a row and just roll those 5 weeks later into summer. And so it made it awesome for that and growing up. And, Dad didn't have to hire an extra guide because I was there. So made a big difference there.
When did you start guiding? What age?
Started like a little bit, just a very little bit, probably 8th grade. And then, I was helping with horses and everything since probably 6th and 7th grade and doing leather and stuff like that. But then, actually guiding took, solo guiding like my freshman year.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
So you just started young.
Yeah.
And so we were talking before this, but you're going to go back home this summer and kind of work with your dad and do some outfitting, guiding stuff too.
A little bit. We don't have a whole lot of summer guests this year. Kind of just some weird stuff that happened with scheduling, and then Forest Service limiting us this year, really cutting us back, which is unfortunate. But that's kind of just things we're going to have to deal with in the business as we roll forward. Because, there's just going to keep continuing being a larger number of people in our area, and we're just going to have to find ways to deal with that. But, I'll be up there riding horses, breaking horses for Dad for outfitting, and then also we need to go in and cut trails and maintain our cabin and everything up there as well. So I'll be spending quite a bit of time in the mountains.
Serious hard work, dude.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Young age, continue to do it. That's super cool. Talk a little bit more about kind of the family history with the ranch and the outfitting business, I guess. It said it was your dad, and then it's kind of been like through you now. When did it start? Kind of what do you do with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the family ranch it would have been my great-grandmother's. And then she had 2 boys, my grandpa and my great-uncle, and they split the place from there. But that's basically the family ranch. So I help out on my grandma's ranch there, her half of the main ranch. And then the outfitting business started, it's about 65 years ago now. My grandfather started it. And, ranching isn't a real lucrative business. It isn't something that is real, people see ranchers as, oh, you must have a lot of money, you're a rancher.
Really?
And that is not it in any case. If you're a real Montana rancher, you don't have a whole lot of money. You do it because you love it, and you put everything you have, your whole heart and soul and all your finances into it.
Wow.
And there is a way to make it lucrative, but it takes a lot of work, and it does not happen overnight. So Grandma and Grandpa, when they were just getting going, out of college, they needed some way to supplement their income with the ranch. Cattle prices weren't all that good. And so they had a friend who came out hunting, and he said, you need to start an outfitting business. And my grandpa said that'd be a great idea. So from there, we own a 125-year-old Forest Service cabin. Well, it used to be, it's right in the center of the Forest Service. It's private land, so you're surrounded by all this Forest Service, and it's 18 miles into the Forest Service. And so he had a destination already, and he said, well, we have the ranch, we have the destination, this will be perfect. And the friend that told him they should do it, there's a backcountry airstrip right behind the cabin, and he flew a plane. And so he would fly for Grandpa, and they'd fly hunters in. So they could do all 5 weeks because they could fly people in when there was too much snow to get in. And so he started it way long time ago. And then as he got Parkinson's, and so as he was unable to do it, he passed it on to my dad. And so then my dad's been running it for probably close to 20 years now.
Wow.
And then just slowly passing it on down to me.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. Do you think you'll continue to do it, like, as a profession?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way. 18 miles back, you said?
Yeah.
Whoa. And so you just fly people in, or you bring them back and they hunt for X amount of days, weeks?
Yeah, we really don't fly much anymore. It's really hard to find pilots that are willing to fly into a sketchy backcountry.
And you just fly
airstrip
like
that.
just little single prop planes and
Yeah,
whatnot? Sure.
So you really can't, you can get a couple guys in there at a time. We really don't do that. We've gone more to running archery season. So you have an earlier hunting season, and then you have your regular rifle season. And so we don't run as late as Grandpa used to. Wow. And the Forest Service has really cut us down, so we can't have as many hunters in it at a time.
Sure.
And so it's a lot more manageable. They go in and out on horses, and then we have a landowner road that you can actually get up in there. It's 30 river crossings, but you can drive like a UTV up in there. And so we'll haul their gear in on that.
Whoa.
So
it's like the true Montana backcountry.
Yeah.
Like way, way back.
Yeah.
What is it like with, you said that the Forest Service is kind of cutting you back, but so you own that cabin on land?
Yep, we have an in-holding within the Forest Service.
Okay, and so they're kind of beginning to regulate that now?
Well, because we use public land to outfit.
Okay.
And so, they're regulating us, which, that's understandable. Anything you do with, government land, they're going to regulate you.
Sure.
So, that makes sense.
Sure.
But the bad thing about it is, it seems like in today's day and age, things only happen when there's negative feedback. So no positive feedback changes anything, only negative feedback. And there are 3 of us outfitters up in this area, and they got calls that there was negative interactions with the outfitters up there. And everybody we run into always loves us. They're always happy to see us, and they're glad to see us. And if anybody needs help packing out game or whatever it is, we're always willing to help. We know that fostering that good relationship gets you way farther in the long run than being a jerk and trying to kick people out of your outfitting area. That doesn't get you anywhere. And so unfortunately, they're limiting all 3 of the outfitters this coming year because of a little bit of negative feedback, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Do you see it kind of being more regulated as time goes on?
I do.
That it'll
It's
only
really
get like
unfortunate.
That? Do you see that you have more competition now? Like now you have 3 outfitters up there, but do you think that more people will move into that space?
There used to be 5 to 6 outfitters up in that area. And so they're trying to get all the outfitters out of the area. And so they keep regulating us and cutting us down. It never used to be an issue to have 6 outfitters up there. There's plenty of land and there's plenty of game. There's plenty of room for people. That's not the issue. It's just unfortunate the agendas that are being pushed towards these government agencies where they feel like they have to get rid of all of the existing businesses and things that are going up in that area.
Wow.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I compared it to agriculture. down here at school, there's all these agriculture clubs, and
Sure.
you can get involved any little area or anything you're interested in, like anything you want to do. There's a club for it. I'm part of a range club. I'm part of Collegiate Young Farmers and Ranchers.
Sure.
There's a stock growers club. So anything, they're here to support you. And
Yeah.
there's money coming in from alumni and all these other different organizations. They're pushing, they're helping, and then you get to the outfitting business and that side of things, and there is no help. And the Forest Service doesn't want you there, and it is one of the heaviest regulated businesses in the state. You'd think, okay, well, restaurants, food and different things like that.
Sure, yeah.
Outfitting is one of the most regulated businesses in the state of Montana.
Really?
And it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Do you think it's because of the resources that you play with, like water and land and game?
I think that's part of it, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it. There's a lot of political stuff. The amount of taxes we get hit with is absolutely astronomical. It's really interesting, and they used to have a section for us. You'd think, okay, if you're one of the most regulated businesses in the state, they're going to have a department for you.
Sure.
And so they've just kind of shuffled us in with everybody else now, and it just makes it that much harder to get stuff done,
Weird.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you said you're part of a bunch of clubs. You're studying ag business at MSU.
I am.
How's that going?
It's great. I'm
Good.
loving it.
Nice.
I'm really excited as even semester 2, you get into a little bit more kind of defined classes.
Right?
And
Yeah.
your area that you're going into, you're getting done with your cores and stuff like that. And that's been a lot of fun. I had one class this year, Bio 230, identification of seed plants. And it was a tough class.
Wow.
Honestly, it was a really tough class. But it was so much fun getting to do something that I'll be able to use in the future. I've grown up doing range competitions and soils competitions and stuff like that, and just growing up around plants, and so it was fun to get to do that hands-on kind of ID skills that I'll be able to use in the future when I'm looking out at my pasture and I need to assess whether I need to keep grazing it, or if it's at a point where I need to stop, or whether there's plants in that field that I need to target graze because they're weeds or whatever it may be. So that was pretty neat.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're both freshmen, right? But I
Yeah.
start specializing in kind of my marketing and stuff like that my junior year. And I'll start to take like more business-oriented classes maybe next year.
Yeah.
Do you think that a lot of the stuff that you will learn in school will directly correlate to running the outfitting business?
Not in a lot of ways. I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
the ag business side of things will be very important, but and that's just basic business practices. I mean,
Yeah.
Just knowing how to run a business. So, I mean, I think there is that, but I think it'll pertain more to the ranching side of things. I'm doing a lot of natural resources management classes and animal science classes and things like that will really aid me in the ranching side of things.
Sure.
I mean, and you can take it any direction you want. I could go get a regular business job with this degree.
Right.
But it's going to be more for the ranching side of things.
Yeah, nice. With sort of the lineage that you've had with the ranch and outfitting business, and then your dad and now you, where do you see kind of the things going? Like, is there a new direction that you want to take it? Is there thoughts in mind, or do you want to keep the direction that it's going? Do you see any change?
I heard a speaker one time, and he was probably one of the most influential speakers that I've heard, and I can't remember his name, but he said, everybody teaches that you have to think outside the box. You've got to have that new and great idea, and you have to be, the leading edge of everything. And he said, well, maybe what needs to happen is inside the box, and maybe you don't have to change everything. Maybe you don't have to revolutionize everything to find what needs to happen.
Sure.
And so I think there are some awesome there's new research out, and there's new technology that we can use and stuff like that. But there really isn't a need, at least in our situation, to change anything drastically. It doesn't really need to go anywhere. That older generation of ranchers, they really had it figured out. And if you take the time and slow down and listen to that older generation and what they had to say and the direction they were going, there is so much to glean from that. I don't think we have to completely change directions to stay relevant in today's market and global economy.
Yeah, because it's not like crazy competitive what you're in.
Well, I mean, there's definitely some competition.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have to be on top of it with your cattle prices and watching, maybe you sell ahead of time, maybe you contract and stuff like that. So, I mean, you really have to be on top of it and know what you're doing. One extra load of hay could mean, you underestimated or you overestimated, and you could be losing large sums of money just by a little bit of error.
Whoa.
And so, I mean,
you're saying like maybe you just get really good at what you're good at.
Exactly.
Maybe not just change the approach.
Yep.
Yeah, one entrepreneur that I follow says that all the time. He's just like, everyone's trying to do the best new thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to like maybe predict the best new thing, but maybe even with the outfitting and the ranching, maybe you just take the flow that has kind of come upon you and just like dial that way in.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be the best you can be at what you're doing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I'm sure you're pumped for that.
Yeah, it's neat.
That's cool. Does kind of the family history hit home for you? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I bet that's special.
Yeah, having that family heritage and just knowing where you came from and where everything you're working with came from is super huge.
Yeah, I bet. That's super cool. Well, thanks for touching a little bit about kind of the outfitting, family ranching, all that cool stuff. Little ag business in there, a little tactical stuff. I love it. Last little segment I like to do is called the final round.
Okay.
Just like 4 quick questions, round out the episode.
Absolutely.
Kind of touching on everything. Pretty exciting stuff. One, since you started in 8th grade, so you got quite a few experiences at the ranch. But what's been like maybe 1 or 2 of your favorites?
I don't even think I could pick a favorite experience at the ranch. I think just being at the ranch for me is my favorite experience. Like, I think if you're always looking back, you kind of miss the little things. And so I just love being there and cherishing each moment. Because, just getting to go ride your horse, like, that is awesome in the moment. Or getting to go and, take a hunter out and get them to see their first elk. You're archery guiding and you get this bull to come in so close, and the hunter is like just shaking because they can't even draw their bow. They're just standing there like this.
Oh, God.
And, it's just that is an absolutely awesome experience. Or maybe it's helping a little kid catch their first fish or whatever it may be. It's like every time I'm at the ranch, you're kind of looking for that new best moment.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What city or state, rather, would you live in if it wasn't Montana? Is there anything, any other place that would suit what you want to do?
I've thought about that a little bit. I feel like I could live anywhere. I feel like I fit in Montana, and I love the rural setting. I could live in any city, I think. I don't know as I'd enjoy it, but I think I could live anywhere. I've always wanted to live in Alaska, though. I couldn't pinpoint any city, but I've always wanted to go up to Alaska, maybe do some guiding up there. And then I had the opportunity to travel down to Honduras last summer.
Whoa.
And I think it'd be so cool to go live up in the hills of Honduras. Like,
Dude.
you'd be very surprised at the similarities between Honduras and here. It was pretty cool. A little
Really?
bit, it was warmer, of course. And
Yeah.
I went down, our summer, their winter. So it was pretty moderate then.
Sure.
But, they're all riding around on horses, and they have their, like, little pack mules and pack donkeys and everything. I was like, I could get with this.
That is sweet, dude.
Yeah,
That's so
cool.
Do you read much?
A little bit, yeah.
What's your most recommended book?
There's probably 3. I'll just throw 3 at you.
Yeah, dude.
I can't remember the artist, but One Man's Wilderness was always one of my favorites. I read through it, I think, twice. It's about a guy who goes up to Alaska in the last years of their homesteading days, which was in the 80s. And so he goes up there and he builds his own cabin, and he does everything by hand. And so being a huge hands-on guy,
Right.
I love that. And just like hearing, he takes pictures and he tells about everything he built. So he hand cut, hand peeled, hand did everything to this cabin. The only things he flew in was a little bit of mortar for his chimney, and then the glass for his windows, and he built everything else by hand.
Wow.
And so that was really cool.
You appreciate that.
Absolutely. That hard work, it was awesome to read that. And then Another one, kind of ironic being down here in Bozeman, is Jim Bridger, the mountain man, and just his biography and listening to what he just went through and how he overcame so many obstacles. You know, he was such a tactician. He was not one to back down from a fight, but if there was a way around it or a way to make sure that he would win, he was always up for it. And just kind of, I really enjoyed that because it made me think, like, how can I have that mindset, like that tactical mindset? You know, how can I make sure that I'm going to come out on top every time?
Nice,
you know?
dude.
And I think that was pretty cool. And then the last one is 13 Hours.
Yeah.
And that one's just a really impactful. I'm a huge American. I love my country.
Nice,
and so
man.
reading 13 Hours and that one, the thing that came, like, just really hit home with me was perseverance. Like, you can make it through anything if you put your mind to it.
Dude, you should write a book. You should.
I don't know.
Maybe in 50 years when you're like, I have so much experience with the outfitting, like, I'm going to write a book.
Yeah.
That'd be so
sweet.
cool.
I'm going to have to find some time to slow down for that because it's not happening
Yeah,
yet.
maybe we could give it to your son or something, right?
Yeah,
Jeez.
absolutely. That'd be cool.
That would be awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for diving into that stuff.
Heck
I
yeah.
really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you can recap stuff real well. I'm super pumped to, like, kind of continue to connect with you. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't live too far from each other now, but next year we will. But yeah, just to see you on campus, kind of say what's up. Modern day Ernest Hemingway here before you folks. So lots of big things coming for this man. But thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Yeah,
Great being
of course.
here.